our story doesn't start with love at first sight at all. To me, he was just, just another inmate. I did notice that he was very polite, respectful, but not like overly. You could tell that he had been to higher yards because of his interactions with the COs. They were very short. Like he wasn't the kind of inmate. There's like two different kinds of inmates. There's some that are extra friendly that will just sit there and talk to the guards all day long. And then there's the other inmates who have been to higher yards and they don't want to talk to the guards because it could look suspicious to, the other inmates. And he was more on that line. Like he wasn't trying to talk to the guards. He would just go get what he needed, get his questions answered, and then go. So he was always just never had any issues with him. I knew of him. I didn't really know who he was. I couldn't remember his name. I just knew his face, and I knew that he was just very, polite, but that's all I knew of him.
Were you attracted to him?
No, I didn't. It's really hard to explain this, but I didn't see past the orange. You just see the orange and then nothing more. Mm-hmm. You don't go into detail of the inmates' facial features or their body, nothing like that. You just see orange and that's it.
How long after, since you had left the job and he got released from prison, did you guys meet?
I had left, I think 7 months before, something like that. I had already way moved on from prison. I wasn't even really thinking about it anymore. It was just a thing of the past, I guess.
And how long had he been out for?
A week.
Oh, he had only been out a week?
Yeah, he had just gotten out.
Wow. So you run into him at church. What happens?
We kind of made eye contact, and it's kind of just when you see someone in a crowd that you recognize. You look for a second, and we both realize hey, we know each other. And then it took a second for it to hit me who he was. And I'm oh yeah, that's that inmate. And this happened, often. I would run into inmates all the time because, like I said, Tucson's pretty small. So we just kind of walked up to each other. We weren't far apart. We were probably as far apart you and I are right now. And he said, "Hey," and I said, "Hey." I was you're out. And he was yeah. He's do you remember me? And I said, yeah. He said, I'm going to go get some pizza with my daughter. He had his daughter with him. And he's do you want to go with me? And I had my son. And I was yeah.